Hello everyone, welcome to A Good Plate. Plum cake is perfect to share and relish with family and friends during the holidays or any time of the year. It may look like a lengthy process, but do not be intimidated by it as some of the steps are done ahead of time before the actual day of baking. Let's take a look at the ingredients needed for this. Let's soak the dry fruit and nuts. Take a bowl, add 1/4 cup of raisins, Tutti Frutti 1/4 cup, cashew nuts 10 whole or a handful broken into pieces. Use raw cashew nuts. 1/4 cup Cointreau, rum 1/4 cup. Combine everything well. Leave at room temperature for a day. The next day transfer it to a bottle and keep it refrigerated until use. Recommend soaking for at least a week before baking, but if short of time, soak at least for a day. Dry fruit and nuts can be soaked a month or two ahead and kept in the refrigerator until use. Let's make the caramel. Take a cooking pot, add half a cup of sugar. Turn on the stove and keep it on medium-low flame. Spread the sugar in the pot. Let the sugar melt. Keep stirring in between as the sugar starts to melt. Soaking the dry fruit and nuts, making the caramel, and baking the plum cake can be done on 3 different days so that you're not overwhelmed on the day of baking. Once it starts to froth, cook until it has come to a desired caramel color. Make sure the caramel does not burn. Keep stirring in between. Reduce the flame to low if necessary and cook until the desired caramel color is achieved. It is very important for it to froth before adding the water. If you add water before it froths, it will become hard like candy. Once the caramel has come to a desired color, turn off the stove and add 1/4 cup of water. Give it a mix and set it aside to cool down completely. Caramel can be made a day or two before baking. If using the caramel a day or two later, keep it in the refrigerator after it cools down. Caramel will thicken a bit as it cools down. Let's preheat the oven while we get the batter ready. Set it to bake 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's make the batter. Take a large bowl or a stand mixer bowl. Add 1 stick of unsalted butter that has been softened at room temperature. Add half a cup of sugar. Beat the butter and sugar until well combined using a whisk or an electric hand beater or a stand mixer. Make sure to scrape the sides as you mix. Once the sugar and butter are well combined, add 2 eggs. Keep the eggs at room temperature for a couple of hours before baking. Beat until fluffy and well combined. Once the eggs, sugar and butter are fluffy and well combined, to the batter add the powder of a tiny piece of cinnamon, few seeds of cardamom, tiny piece of nutmeg, 1/4 of a clove, just the bud part, salt, a tiny pinch, baking powder, 1 teaspoon, vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon. Beat until well combined. Add the caramel. Beat until well combined. Once it is well combined, add 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Beat until well combined. Make sure to scrape the sides as you mix. Once the batter is well combined, add the soaked fruit and nuts along with the soaked liquid. Beat until well combined. Once the batter is fluffy and well combined, it's ready to bake. Grease a glass bowl or metal pan with butter or oil. I'm using 2 medium-sized round glass Pyrex bowls. Transfer the batter to the greased glass bowls. Smooth out the top. Detailed written recipe is given in the description box. Place the cashew nuts on top of the batter. Use raw cashew nuts. Place the batter-filled glass bowls in the preheated oven. Bake for around 30 to 38 minutes. If the corners or top are browning fast and the center is still wet, loosely cover the top of the bowls with parchment paper or aluminum foil. After 30 minutes of baking, check if the cake is fully baked. To check, insert a toothpick in the center of the cake. The toothpick should come out clean. Take the plum cake out of the oven once it's fully baked. It took 38 minutes for the plum cake to bake in my oven. Let the plum cakes rest for 10 to 15 minutes. After 10 to 15 minutes, run a knife along the sides to release the cake. Baking time of the plum cake will vary based on the baking dish used and the oven. Cooks faster in a square or a rectangle baking dish. Make sure to note the time the first time you bake it. Let the plum cake cool down completely before slicing. Plum cake stays good for up to a week at room temperature. In the refrigerator, you can store it for at least 3 weeks. Enjoy the plum cake as is, or with coffee, or with port wine. If you like the recipe, please like, share and subscribe to the A Good Plate YouTube channel. Thank you for watching. Happy baking and happy holidays.